Welcome to my new shop. This is the first video shot in the shop, I guess you could say on the shop. This is the concrete slab for my new shop, and it was poured 3-4 weeks ago. It's been a while, so why are you just now seeing it? That's a wonderful question, and I think I know the answer. The answer is I have not been publishing on this YouTube channel. The last video I published on this channel about this whole property series was historic aerials. I believe that was the one, historic aerials. And in the background, a while ago, I created a new YouTube channel for the inevitable. The inevitable being YouTube's analytics telling me that this particular content, the homestead content, this property content, just isn't a good fit for a dedicated woodworking channel. I knew it was coming, and eventually I just said enough is enough, and let's get the other channel going. So I started a new channel called BPO3 Homestead. BPO3 stands for Bates Party of Three. When my wife and I adopted our little girl Tyler K, life changed. Life was just been so much more amazing since then. And it was also one of those, we kind of had that realization like, oh, wait a minute now. Like if you go to a restaurant or something, there's a table wait, for instance. It'd be like, yes, Bates Party of Three, your table is ready. We just always thought that that was such a milestone for us, Bates Party of Three. So that's the reason behind the name, BPO3 Homestead. I'm going to continue to publish much more frequent content on that channel, just because I'm recording what I do anyway, so that particular type of content is just easier for me to produce. And since then, I believe it's been about 3 weeks that I've only been publishing over there. I'm trying to average about 3 videos per week, and in those 3 weeks, I think there's actually 10 videos that you may not know of that are all over there. Now, they're not woodworking videos, so if you subscribe to this channel just because of woodworking, I very much appreciate that, and I'll try my best to get back to woodworking as soon as I can on this channel. I have no intentions to stop producing videos for this Jay Bates YouTube channel, jayscustomcreations.com. I'm not abandoning woodworking content. However, life is awesome. I've got so many possibilities in life right now. We're developing this property, just so many things to do, and they're all outside, and I'm an outdoors person at heart. I love being outside. So I'm also not going to stop producing videos for my homestead channel now. So there you go. If you want to see just woodworking content, keep your subscription here. If you want to see more stuff that I've got going on in life, well, consider subscribing to that other channel. So with that out of the way, let's jump on the computer and talk about what will be assembled on top of this space either next week or the week after. Real quick, also, you may have noticed I'm taking some of these trees down. Well, actually, I'm being forced to take down all of these trees. Explanation on the other channel. Now let's jump into the computer. Windows is being goofy and won't recognize my good microphone, so I'm talking into my phone, which means you're probably going to hear my dog snoring or shaking or whatever the dog does, because that dog cannot stay quiet. Anyway, welcome to SketchUp, and let's look at my future shop. The shop itself is a 40-foot by 60-foot welded together red iron steel structure. Inside the main shop part, I'll have R10 insulation. Nothing super awesome, but a little bit of insulation. Like I said previously, this shop space will not be heated and cooled, and I'm perfectly okay with that. It might be heated with a wood stove eventually, but definitely not this winter. And I don't think it'll ever be cooled. There goes the dog. I don't think it'll ever be cooled because 2 reasons. Number one, I just don't want the bill of cooling 2,400 square foot of space, as well as the bill of making the insulation much greater. I just don't want that. Number two, I'm going to be outside way more at this property than I ever was previously. So going from the hot outside to the air conditioned inside, to the hot outside to the air conditioned inside, to the hot outside, back and forth and back and forth, that is just miserable. So I'm not going to do it. So anyway, 40 by 60 shop. We do have a 20-foot by 60-foot lean-to on the west side. You see these boxes here. These are not to scale. I don't know exactly what size beams that will be used, but Every one of these 60-foot spans needs one of these structural beams every 20 feet on center. So that's where those are going to be, and I know they're going to stick into the shop just a little bit, so I just wanted something there to let myself know, like, hey, something's going to be there. We have 6 windows as well as 2 man doors underneath the lean-to. Now, I purposefully put the vast majority of all the doors and windows underneath the lean-to because I've dealt with leaky windows in the past in the shop, and I'm not doing it again. I don't care how good the craftsman is putting the building up. I just want to future-proof it for my own sanity, I guess you could say. We do have a 12-foot by 12-foot roll-up door on the south wall that is not under a lean-to, and we do have one 36-inch man door on the east wall that is not underneath a lean-to. But the majority of them I wanted underneath there. That transition between shop roof and lean-to roof, that's not a typical leaking point. Not nearly as common as windows are, so I'm okay with having the windows here. I'm also okay with not having a bunch of natural light on this other side. I simply do not care. Inside the shop, we're going to be relying heavily on artificial light. That's just the way it always was planned to be, so that's okay. I'm going to lose line of sight through a window to the east side of the property, which is kind of where the driveway comes in. The driveway is actually going to be down here quite a bit. But I'm okay with that again, because like I said, I just do not want to deal with leaky windows. I've been there, unfortunately, and done that, and I just don't want to do it. So if the need arises for adding visuals to my, or line of sight to my east, I can always put some PoE cameras, power over Ethernet security cameras up in various different locations, put a monitor somewhere, and I'll be able to see plenty good enough that way if the need arises. Alright, so the main shop is going to have a 12.4 roof pitch. The lean-to is going to have a 12.2 roof pitch, and it's going to look like a big giant box. This is not designed to look super fancy. This is not designed with any visuals in mind. I wanted every bit of my dollars to go to function, to have the maximum size shell that I could get, the maximum size piece of finished concrete that I could get. I just don't care about it looking super fancy or looking a certain way. That being said, I will give a quick shout out to Third Coast Craftsman. His shop looks amazing. I love his shop sign. I love his shop. I love everything about his color combo. I just love what he's doing. I'm doing my monetary investments a little bit differently though, and that's okay. So one 12-foot by 12-foot roll-up door on the south facing end. I had 2 10-foot doors in my last shop, and I always wished one of them was just wall space, so I don't need 2 doors. 12-foot width allows me a lot of space to get stuff in, and I'm thinking, you know, pallets of stuff horizontally on my tractor forks, perpendicular to the travel of the tractor. I can get 12-foot wide material, or, you know, probably like 11.5-foot wide material through this opening. 12 foot in height, so I can park my camper on the inside. I've got 1 sewer out and water in over here in this corner, which I'll talk about in just a second. This door placement, I'm not 100% set on, but I'm probably, I don't think I'm going to change this, but that's still open to change. What else do we have over here? Just a basic structure. Both of these man doors are a minimum of 36 inches away from the end walls. I don't care if they got to go a little bit more. I just want them a minimum 36. That way I can put cabinets or something over there if I want to down the road. And also maybe the dust collector down here into this one. So there you go. Very, very, very basic shop. It's just a box. Which is funny, you know, what happens when you get a big gift for a child? They open up the gift and they play with the box. Well, this is my box for the property, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff on the inside. So let's go through the evolution of what the inside is going to look like. Let's go over here to this first one. And first one, you can see kind of my old shop layout reincarnated here. So first off, we have the camper. This is a Winnebago model. I do not have a Winnebago camper, but I used a model off of 3D Warehouse and SketchUp, and I scaled it to the exact size of our current camper, put the slide out here where our slide out is, and put a little bit of reference marks for a couple of other things. So the initial plan was to set up the shop like normal, no big deal, set up the camper, and then build a standalone bathroom in the shop. Now, my initial plan was for this bathroom for twofold. Number one, when the camper is gone after we build the house, the camper is going to be out of there. It's going to be nice to have a little bathroom here in the shop. It's going to be really nice to have a bathroom in the shop. That was my biggest complaint with my last shop, was it was built before we got there and there was no running water inside the structure. So having a bathroom in there would be great. Now, as far as living in a camper having a bathroom in here, well, then I have a decent residential water heater and I can actually take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who's gone camping in one of these campers understands you can't quite take a full, residential household shower in a camper. So that was a big selling point for building this bathroom. Of course, having a dedicated place that guests who are here on the property be like, hey, yeah, you can go use the bathroom right there without them going to our camper. All of that played into the decision making here. I also wanted to put a kitchen sink, a full-size range oven, full-size refrigerator, and of course we could throw a table anywhere. It doesn't really matter on the table. And the whole point of this bathroom is an elevated bathroom. It's 3 feet off of the ground, which leaves the sewer exposed below it. Therefore, at the time of building the shop, I only have to settle on one sewer out. I'm not locked in. If I have, let's just say, a toilet out here and a shower out here and something else over here, if those are built into the slab, I'm stuck with that forever. And if this space needs change, well, I'm stuck with it. Not only that, but it's just way easier to throw one sewer out inside the slab and then have an elevated platform where you can connect all of your sewer above grade, and it just makes the hookup process so much easier. So as far as this sink goes, just a water supply coming this way with a small, inexpensive, on-demand sink water heater, and then one drain coming out along this wall and then tying in down here. So that's the whole point of this elevated platform. Make the plumbing easier long term. We would also have our stack washer and dryer right there, plumbing right there for the washer and dryer, or for the washer. And then of course the dryer, I'm okay with taking like a dryer vent and popping that through the walls, because that's such a small opening that's super easy to seal. No big deal whatsoever. Way different than a window, which requires J-channel and all kinds of other stuff. So that was the initial plan. The shop is basically set up kind of the same way I had it in my last shop. Table saw, bandsaw, planer, and outfeed table. That's a package deal. These go together because they maximize overlapping dead space. When you're using the bandsaw, you're right here, and your left-hand side is dead space. You're never going to be the left side of the bandsaw. You're never going to be to the far right side of the table saw. You're never going to be to the opposite side of the planer as the elevation handle. So all three of those dead spaces, nest them together, and then this becomes your location for your dust collection drop and your electrical drop. Same with this little island right here. Planer, bandsaw, doesn't matter which bandsaw, HS950 horizontal sander, and my router table. These four, back to back to back to back, have the exact same advantage. The dead space is overlapped, so you can put your electrical and your dust collection drops right there. Super convenient. And of course, the router table close to the CNC machine is convenient because some of these bits are interchangeable. Minor stuff like my drill press cart and my air cleaner cart, none of that stuff really matters on a layout like this because they're portable. You can move them anywhere you want. Dust collection system down here, most likely. No more than 3 or 4 feet away from this wall, so I can tie into the to the ceiling and drop some type of suspended cable, something or other, to get the run going over here. Drop for the CNC machine, drop for this island, drop for this island, eventually over here at the miter saw. Now this is kind of a long span, so I may experiment with something different for the miter saw as far as dust collection goes, or the radial arm saw, some type of cross-cutting station. I don't have my last miter saw station anymore, so that's going to be a new project venture. which is going to be great. And then this CNC machine, Avid 6x12, this is a possibility and not a guarantee. I just want to throw that out there. So I would like to have a large slab flattening, tabletop flattening CNC machine, something that I could utilize personally, but also with this particular property, I'm going to be offering services to the local community. And I've never done that before, but I want to venture out away from 100% of my income being online. On the lean-to over here, this is my wife's car. It's scaled to the dimensions of my wife's vehicle, which is a primary family vehicle. We've got a 2016 RAV4, Toyota RAV4. It's just way less expensive on fuel than my 2012 F-250 with 6.7 liter diesel. This thing just drinks fuel. So we primarily use this one, which means my vehicle, I put it in there so you could actually see that there's enough space for it. But in all honesty, it's probably going to live somewhere like that, somewhere outside the lean-to. The tractor will most likely live under this lean-to. And then also we have a side-by-side, which is a 99 Jeep Wrangler. It's probably going to live right there. And then for the time being, I'll put all of the tractor implements right there. So I'll house all the tractor implements underneath the lean-to. I eventually want to get these out of here, all the tractor implements, into a different storage just for tractor implements. And that will leave me with this whole wall being wide open so that I can create an outdoor chop saw station of some kind. Something that anybody can walk up and just make a quick cut outside. Whatever you're doing, there's an option to make a cut here. Now, of course, there's ways to safety-proof this or increase safety for children or people who shouldn't be using it, keeping them away from it. But I'd like to have a rough outdoor cross-cutting area and a nice indoor woodworking cross-cut area. That's long-term down the road. So going back to this whole elevated bathroom and the camper and all this, this was what I was set in stone. I was set in stone on this for quite a long time until some people started to bring up some very valid points that I did not really take into consideration. It's mainly due to air conditioning. So the AC unit on this camper is somewhere right here, and the condensation always drips no matter what into this corner, comes off of the gutter and just drops on the ground right there. It's convenient where we're camping right now because I just put the dog's water bowl right there and it's automatically filled up with condensation water 24/7. Cool, right? Inside the shop, not so much. I'll have to elevate a funnel connected to a hose of some kind to get that to drain out. It's doable, but that kind of sucks. And then number two, with the AC running, I'm cooling the inside of the camper, but I'm heating the inside of the shop. So that's going to suck. So I really don't want to deal with the AC inside the camper. So that made me think about, you know what? If we're going to be building a small little bathroom here, it's not much effort to just build an apartment in here, which is something that a lot of people recommended to do anyway. So let's see what we have next. Next, we have basically what we're going to get by with over the winter. We're going to park the camper in there like initially planned over the winter. And we're not going to worry about the bathroom at all. We may do some type of temporary washer and dryer setup over here so we can still use our washer and dryer, or maybe even the washer and dryer goes over here. I don't know. But we're going to temporarily get the washer and dryer going and just use the sewer hookup as a sewer hookup. That's it. That's what we're going to do from the very beginning, so that way we can build an apartment come springtime. So in the springtime, or next summer, whenever, we will pull the camper out and park it on the back side of the shop. The septic facility, the advanced treatment facility, I think is what it's called. That's going to be over here somewhere. The sewer out is right here going into it. So I can put a clean out on the top right here to tie into with the camper sewer. I also have my water coming in right here, which on the other side of that sewer, I want to extend that water into a yard hydrant. And if I put a yard hydrant right there, well, then I can hook up the camper to that. The electrical panel to the shop is going to be somewhere over here. And if it is right there, well, then it'll be convenient to put an outdoor plug-in for the camper right there. So it makes a lot of sense to move the camper outside. I don't have to deal with that condensation drip anymore. I don't have to deal with the AC heating up the shop. And that'll allow me to build a much more comfortable apartment. This apartment is only 10 feet. I don't know if you can see that. It's only 10 feet in this direction. And I believe it's 28 feet in this direction. 32, I'm sorry. 32 feet in this direction. My dimension right there is kind of being hidden, so I'll just plop it right there. So 32 feet this way. That allows me a 5.5 foot or 6 foot by approximately 10 foot bathroom. I can put a corner shower in here, a toilet, and a sink. That's basically all I need in a bathroom. My washer and dryer can still go right there. This will still be elevated, so all the plumbing and whatnot can go underneath here. The sink can go snaked back into there as well. And as soon as you come in this door of the apartment, we'll have a queen size bed with a twin size bunk on top. So adults on the bottom and our daughter can sleep on top, which is kind of sort of what we've been doing anyway in our camper. As soon as SketchUp figures out what's going on, it froze up, not responding. Yay! You're gonna crash on me, SketchUp? No, there we go. We have a queen size bed and our daughter sleeps on the dinette. So having them right there, it's basically the exact same thing, except this little apartment it'll just be a lot more enjoyable temporary living situation because we'll have a full-size stove, which we currently do not have. We'll have a full-size sink, which we currently do not have. We'll have a full-size fridge, which we currently do not have. We will have a washer and dryer, which we currently do not have. And we will have a shower with a residential water heater. So hopefully we could have an unlimited supply of hot water, which we definitely do not have. The bunk bed situation over here, I have a small projector, and I can project it right onto this wall for any type of TV or entertainment needs, which we don't really watch TV a lot anyway as it is. So I'm not going to put emphasis on having like an entertainment center in here, entertainment area. This is plenty enough space for a dining table, so we can cook and eat accordingly. And then all of this space right here is about the same size as our camper. I could put some vents in between the bathroom and the main space down here, so that way we can get by with just one individual wall mount mini split. And at that point, I can go to bed in the summertime with it being quiet. Quiet. Because currently in this camper, our AC unit is insanely loud. Anybody who's standing underneath the AC unit cannot hear anybody else speaking 5 feet from them. That's a huge complaint of our camper life. Which, other than that, isn't really bad camper life. So let me zoom out just a little bit here. What do I lose by going to this layout with the apartment? The only thing that I really lose, and it's not that big of a deal, is being able to come in this door with long material and go right to the miter saw station. Now, that means I could potentially rotate this way along this long way. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that because like the biggest amount of area that you can get out of a four-sided structure is a square, right? If the perimeter doesn't change, the square is the greatest amount of area. So having this more square-like versus this way, so if I was to take these and rotate the apartment this way, I would have a further long rectangle. I'm not changing the actual square foot, but I'm changing the perceived square feet. This will look and feel like a much bigger space with the apartment in this orientation. So anyway, you can come in this door. We'll have like a boot box, a coat locker, something right here to get rid of your coats and shoes and whatnot. And if we do have this conveniently located by this door, it'll make me and my wife happy because that means we can eliminate shoes in all of this space, and this will stay nice and clean long term. This gives me another wall that will be wood for me to mount stuff to. So my workbench goes right there, hand tool wall, whatever. And then look at all of this open space for activities. So much room for activities, right? My daughter's workbench, anywhere, doesn't matter. Well, if my workbench is there, her workbench is here, something. Maybe all the metal stuff gets moved down here quite a bit. and this becomes my wife's growing area with shelves with grow lights and plants and whatnot. Who knows, but we've got a lot of options. Maybe the CNC machine comes down even further, because this is all kind of wasted space down here. I don't know. We've got a tremendous amount of space in this orientation. And also, my truck does not go there. So we have all kinds of space over here too. Yeah, it's just, this is all really cool. Maybe at that point she comes in from the other direction, parking. Who knows? Who knows? Regardless, we have a lot of options. That's it for this video, though. If you want to stay up to date with everything going on around the homestead, around the property, subscribe to that other channel that I started, BPO3 Homestead. BPO3 equals Bates Party of 3. It's got a lot of really strong meaning to me and my wife. I'll continue to post woodworking content here on my woodworking channel. I'm not giving up woodworking. I'm not giving up making YouTube videos for this channel. I'm not giving up content on my website. I'm just trying to structure it in a little bit easier to digest manner. So that's it for this one. You guys take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.